Welcome to the second part of the Katie McLaughlin analysis with VEROSCOPE in the Karen Reed trial. We've covered part one, but this can stand alone as its own video because we're going to continue on with Alan Jackson cross-examining. This is the firefighter-paramedic in the Karen Reed trial who attended the death of John O'Keefe, who was found possibly murdered or possibly an accident, according to the prosecution. But Karen was found innocent in two trials. Well, the first was a mistrial, more accurately. And this is John O'Keefe, by the way, a Boston police officer, and this is what the case is all about: the murder of John O'Keefe. And we're going to hear from her, and we're going to see if she lies to us or tells any fibs or deceptions or has changed her story. And we're interested because Brian Albert, whose house, the front lawn of the of his house, is where John was discovered dead. So Brian Albert says that for this whole conspiracy to be true, that actually the people inside the house know what happened, and that there could have been some sort of altercation, or maybe Chloe, the dog, attacked John because apparently the dog didn't like strangers. Or was there an altercation because there was trouble with jealousy and Karen and romance with Higgins? We don't know. We will probably never know the full facts, but we do know that all of the homeowners and the people in the household are acting very suspiciously. And we know that Brian says it's going to take 30 to 50 people to be in on it, to be in on the conspiracy for the conspiracy to work. So we have a hypothetical latent admission by Brian Albert, who over-eggs it in a way to convince us that this couldn't be at all possible. But what he says, or part of what he says, is that it would require the cooperation of somebody within the EMT fire medic world who first attended with John. And so Katie McLaughlin, is that the lady that Brian is referring to hypothetically in his over-egged example of, for this conspiracy to work, it would require not only the police forces of Canton and Boston and Massachusetts and the investigators to be involved, but also it would require EMTs and fire and paramedics to be involved. It's quite a claim by Brian, isn't it? But let's hear what she has to say on the witness stand, and then we'll carry on with the analysis itself.
Since January 30th, in that conversation that we just talked about with Trooper Proctor, your statement has evolved. Is that right?
I don't know how to answer that.
You testified yesterday to something quite different.
Not quite different.
Than what you testified, I'm sorry, than what you stated to Trooper Proctor.
Respectfully, I think my testimony has been pretty consistent.
You testified to something yesterday quite different in context than what you told Trooper Proctor. Isn't that right?
I don't know that that's right.
Well, you told Trooper Proctor, here and Reed looked at a female standing to your left.
So already we're getting the typical deception markers that we've grown or learnt on the VEROSCOPE channel. And she just doesn't know how to answer that, she said previously. And now she doesn't know if that's right.
He said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Right?
Yes.
Yesterday you told
and then we have a surrender.
That Karen Reed said, I hit him. And an officer said, you what? And she repeated, I hit him. And the officer immediately turned and went to find another sergeant. Is that right or no? Yes or no?
No, there was more to that testimony.
That's not what you said yesterday?
I think.
I think I said more than that, than what you just repeated.
Is what I said consistent with what you said yesterday? There's a lot of things that you said. More of. I'm asking, is that the sum and substance of what you told these jurors yesterday?
Yes.
So you would agree that from that time till yesterday, your story has evolved. It's changed.
Did you see the look for help? Rather than deny, she looked for help. The witnesses are constantly looking for help before they answer, as if they've been coached that I'll object and the judge will most likely sustain, etc. And so they look for help before answering. That's a real tell.
Would I agree with that?
No.
And then we have the classic question the question, which is a technique to buy more thinking time before they deliver the most likely deception. Let's hear what she has to say.
I don't know that I agree with that.
You think the story that you told Trooper Proctor is exactly...
So she couldn't give a denial. She questions the question and then says she doesn't know if she would agree with that. It's weak. She's essentially surrendering that her story has changed.
I understand what you're saying. So I understand what you're saying.
So has your story evolved?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
And there we have it. The eventual surrender and admission. And there's a resentful look, isn't there? Defiance, anger at being discovered, combined with admission, but there's not full surrender. Okay, let's carry on.
Miss McLaughlin.
And then she resets.
Caitlin Albert.
Oh.
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
Okay, so did you notice the cognitive stutter? The question surprised her to a degree, and then she minimizes to someone and went to school with, as distant as you can possibly get. So we have to ask ourselves, why is she deliberately creating linguistic distance between her and what will likely, we will learn, is a very good friend of hers? She's creating distance, I think, because there's a consciousness of guilt. I think that she's telling the truth when she finally surrenders and admits that her story has evolved. And I suspect her story has been evolving from the very first moment that others began their campaign to influence. And is this the emergency worker that Brian is referring to in his mind when he describes the necessary team to carry out a conspiracy successfully? And because of the huge numbers he tells us that would be required, it's impossible to believe. So that's his theory. That's Brian's theory. Is he including this lady in it? Let's carry on.
Was somebody named Caitlin Albert?
I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert.
So do you know Caitlin Albert?
I do.
You're friends with Caitlin Albert?
I would say more acquaintances, not close friends.
So we put in the flag, the I would say.
How do you describe an acquaintance?
I would say that we have mutual friends, so we might see each other occasionally because of mutual friends, but we don't.
So then we have might, and so these words would be coloured using highlighter pens if we were marking up a physical document, until eventually we have a marked up document following statement analysis rules and principles, and it will show us at a glance certain patterns that we might miss had we not marked up the document. So that's primarily why we do it, so that we can see things more clearly. If you want to learn how to mark up a document in forensic linguistics and statement analysis to get intelligence, then have a look at the earlier VEROSCOPE videos. There's almost 100 up now, so plenty of learning material. And if that's of interest, then do consider joining the membership, where we've got a more formal coursework type of videos, where we're going through methodically the skills that are required to understand not only forensic linguistics and statement analysis, but also the body language and the interviewing skills, the elicitation skills, giving you an all-round view of whether people are lying to you or not. Okay, let's carry on with the tape.
We don't have a one-on-one friendship or hang out regularly.
Who's her dad?
I don't know.
The objection system.
Do you know who her family is?
Objection.
Sustained.
May we approach her?
Yes.
Oh, and whilst they're doing that sidebar, don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to be doing a video very shortly after we've analysed just a couple more witnesses who are important to analyse first. And then we're going to be analysing, based on all of their language, who is the most likely to cooperate with the FBI first. Who's going to take the lifeboat first? And we'll see if we can predict that from the language that they've used on the witness stands. Okay, let's carry on. So do subscribe.
Ms. McLaughlin, when, just briefly as a predicate, when you stepped out, I just want to make sure we're very clear. Did you have a conversation with anybody from the Commonwealth between the time you walked out of court and just now?
Just about if I needed a drink of water or to use the restroom.
Okay, but nothing about the substance of your testimony?
No.
Ms. McLaughlin, I asked you before we broke if you know who Caitlin Albert is.
Yes.
You said that you went to high school with somebody by that name, correct?
Yes.
You in fact know that person as a friend, correct?
I know her.
She's more than an acquaintance.
I would say she's an acquaintance. She's not a close friend.
Is she in a group of friends of yours?
We have mutual friends.
How long have you known her?
Probably since high school.
When you say, and I don't want to ask your age, I wouldn't do that. How many years, how long of a span of years have you known her?
Since high school, so maybe 10.
And you know her family, generally?
I don't.
You don't know anything about her family?
I don't know her family.
Had you ever been to her house?
Not that I recall ever being there.
Not that you recall, or you haven't? There's two different things.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay, so you might have been there, you just don't recall.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay. If I were to ask you if you have ever been to her house, yes or no, you cannot answer that because you don't know. You cannot recall, correct?
I would say, I would lean towards no. I have no recollection of ever being at her house.
Are you friends with her on social media?
Yes.
May I approach her on her?
Yes.
I'm just going to leave all four of these up here. I know what they look like. Can you do me a favor and take a look at the first document? What does that document appear to be?
It says Caitlin's friends.
What does it look like? That's a printout of.
I'm sorry?
What does that look like? It's a printout of. Does that look like it's from Facebook or one of the social media apps?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Some social media.
Okay. Under Caitlin's friends, do you see your handle, for lack of a better phrase?
I do.
Okay. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Can you look at the next photograph? Before we talk about that next photograph, which is, I should go in order for the record, Your Honor. The first one was H. Before we talk about I, which is the next photograph, how long have you been social media friends, quote, friends with Caitlin Albert?
I don't know.
More than 5 years?
Probably.
More than 8 years?
So there's nothing wrong, of course, with being sisters and telling the truth and saying what you saw and heard. But for some reason, these two women have got it into their heads that they mustn't know each other, or it will become obvious, what? That you've changed exactly what you heard to a mixture of a group of people replaying the tape again and again and again until everyone can agree it was I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Has there been any pressure to say you must remember? Surely you remember. Jen remembers. She heard it clearly. I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Surely you remember, don't you? Oh, Katie, you must remember. And on the influencers would go until did Katie McLaughlin begin to question her own memories? Because we know in that area that there are such things as false memories, don't we? We know that now. We've been told that on the witness stand. And I believe that Commissioner Cox, the police commissioner, thought it was important that anyone with false memories should do the right thing and come forth and explain what the false memories are. So we know that happens. Perhaps it's in the water. Who knows? But either way, this lady's story has evolved, and she has surrendered and admitted that. And now she's trying to deceive us that she doesn't really know the daughter of the cop whose front lawn John O'Keefe, the murdered Boston police officer, was found on. This is deliberate deception. So let's listen to how she does it before we go into the analysis in detail.
I don't know.
The second photograph, or the second document, appears to be a photograph. It's I, is that right?
Yes,
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I do.
You see Caitlin in that photograph?
I do.
When was that photograph taken?
I have no idea.
Where was that photograph taken?
I don't know.
You have no idea how long ago that was?
I don't.
No.
What was the event
Don't know.
that was depicted, that
No
is
idea.
depicted in that photograph?
I don't know.
Don't know. No.
Is that local, or was that on a trip somewhere?
I don't know. Probably local. If it's a beach, I don't remember. I've never been away to a beach on vacation with all of these people, so probably local.
When we say local, let's talk about local. I don't mean we may have different definitions. Where would that be? What beach? I'm not as familiar with the location.
I'm not sure.
Maybe on the Cape?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you recognize some of the other folks in that photograph?
I do.
Matter of fact, there's a lot of people in that photograph, right?
There's a lot of people in it.
Did you take a trip with all those people at some point in the past?
Take a trip.
To the beach.
Did I go to the beach at some point with these people? Yes.
When
Okay.
did you go to the beach with all those folks?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
dear.
don't know when this picture is from.
Never mind.
It seems old to me, but
Well, you can see yourself. I mean,
yeah.
What was that? Did you say it seems old to you?
Yeah, to me.
Oh,
This isn't
Auntie Bev to the rescue.
Recent to me.
how old do you think that photograph is?
I don't know. It could be around high school. I'm not sure.
And I know Mr. Jackson didn't want to ask you how old you are. When did you get out of high school?
2014.
Okay.
I graduated.
So could that have been around 2014?
It could be.
So you've known Caitlin for at least that long.
Yeah.
And when I say travel, I mean travel outside of Canton. You've gone places with her, correct?
Yes.
You posed for photographs with her,
Yes.
with other folks.
Yes.
Looks like socializing and partying, correct?
Looks like socializing.
Maybe a small vacation.
I've never been on vacation with a big group of people like this.
Well, that doesn't look like what would you call that if that's not like a mini vacation?
A day at the beach?
A day at the beach, okay. So maybe a day vacation.
Sure.
Okay. Let's look at the next photograph. Jay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I do need to remind myself. That photograph looks a little older, correct?
They both look old to me. I don't know when they're from.
I'm going to ask you the same questions about that. These aren't trick questions. I don't want to waste your time. What's that from?
I don't remember specifically what or where this is.
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I do.
Oh,
Do you see Caitlin in the photograph?
I do.
You're all posing for the camera, correct?
Yes.
What's the location?
I don't know.
Don't know.
No idea.
No.
I don't.
This is yet another socializing event with Caitlin that you can't recall.
Don't recall.
I don't know where this is
Is that
exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on.
Now notice. So she didn't answer the question. She answered another question, which was easier psychologically for her to continue, which is the I don't know where this is. So she's done a little sleight of hand. She heard the question perfectly well, but she decided to answer one of the older ones. I don't know where it is.
Go ahead.
I don't know where this is exactly.
So you've had so many socializing events with Caitlin and other folks that you can't pinpoint this one as opposed to any of the others that you've had?
No, I'm saying I can't.
What a good question.
These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you're dressed in that photo?
Yes.
You see how you see the other friends that are there with you?
Yeah.
How many people would you estimate are in that photo?
Do you want me to count how many people?
Give me it. I don't have a photo in front of me, so just give me it. Is it more than 5?
12.
12 people.
Ish.
Okay. Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
Don't know.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? It looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
Don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Caitlin Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
Okay, so she's already surrendered, and here we have a continuation of a deception pattern. And we really now have to start asking ourselves, why are they pulling this pantomime? What is the problem? Honest people who are telling the truth don't need all this acting and, awful deception. It's not even, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, the best con man in the world. This is a half. It's not even 1. It's so obvious that they're lying. And this is a bold-faced lie, isn't it? They're obviously friends, and she's obviously trying to deceive us. And the linguistics absolutely support that finding 100%.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend. Isn't that right?
As I said before,
She could almost tell the truth there.
I would consider myself
tempted.
more of an acquaintance. We have mutual friends. I wouldn't consider her a close friend.
A close friend.
Yeah, I mean that would be my answer.
Okay, so she now introduces a new word, which is another technique that gaslighters and deceivers do. So she's surrendered, she's admitted, but now she introduces a new word, close. And we've also had close personal introduced by other witnesses to give them wriggle room. Oh, it wasn't a close personal relationship. We just went to the same barbecues for 20 years. because of work. Or it wasn't a close personal relationship. We were just at the same weddings and funerals because, and then the excuse, and on it would go. Here she's introduced the word close. She's asked, is she a friend? She's shown the evidence again and again and again and again until eventually she has to admit, not a close friend.
You basically grew up with her, went to high school with her.
I didn't grow up with her. I went to high school with her.
When I say grow up with her, I mean you grew up in the same town as her, right?
Grew up in the same town.
Went to the same high school as she did.
Yes.
Socialized with the same friends as she did.
Yes.
Went on day trips with her.
Yes.
And have all the same friend group. Right?
I don't know that we have all the same friend group. These are people that we're both friends with.
But you don't consider her anything more than just an acquaintance?
I think I described it to you.
So she can't lie again.
The answer to my question is you don't consider...
She can't lie again. I think I described it to you. Interesting, isn't it? You see, we're all good at heart, really, most of us. And she struggles so hard to lie. Most likely because she's, a lovely lady outside of this situation, a paramedic, firefighter. She probably has 99.9% redeeming qualities. And it's not her fault that she's got caught up in this. But she knows her friend. And she has consciousness of guilt, in my opinion, as to how reliable her memory is.
Her to be anything more than an acquaintance?
I wouldn't consider her to be a close friend.
Now let's take a look at the last photograph. Describe what's in that photograph.
There's a...
But let's not forget there's a woman fighting for her life who could go to jail for the rest of her life. Possibly with this judge sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Who knows? I don't know if that judge had that available, but certainly she would have thrown the book at her. And if this person has an inkling that Karen wasn't responsible, then it's more than just helping an old school friend out, isn't it? It's wrong.
It's a picture of me. Caitlin is in it, and there's seems to be other people in it as well.
May I approach?
Yes.
Both of you can take it. Sorry, I just want to drop it on you. That's a close-up photograph of who?
Caitlin, and I'm also in it.
And you're doing what in the photograph as it relates to Caitlin?
It seems like I'm kind of kneeling down next to her.
Touching her?
Can I see that for just a minute, please?
Auntie Bev to the rescue.
I'm sorry, can you show me you? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, relax.
So
now.
just for the record, may I approach one more time, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. You're sort of
Well done,
just
Auntie
behind
Bev.
Caitlin.
She was crumbling there. She needed
Yes.
Caitlin's the one drinking
intervention.
the beer.
Yes.
You got your right arm around her.
Yes.
You both appear to be wearing swimwear,
Yes.
bathing suits,
Auntie Bev's nervous.
Yes.
and you're giving some sort of a sign with your left hand.
No, I'm not.
Is that somebody else's hand that I saw? Maybe that's
The
Caitlin.
chair's going.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have the photograph in front of me. I don't have it committed to memory. Looks like that's a photograph that you and Caitlin posed for together, correct?
It seems like it's a close-up of a bigger, like a picture. It seems to be zoomed in on a group of people.
Which was posted on social
Always
media.
reminds me of Stavros the Darwin.
Okay.
When
Right?
she does her chair.
Are you telling me that?
I'm asking you that. Have you ever seen that posted on social media?
I don't recall seeing this picture, but if it was on social media, then okay.
How long ago was that picture taken?
I don't know.
Who took the picture?
Dunno.
I don't know.
Dunno.
Where were you when the photograph was taken?
Dunno.
Probably at a beach if we're wearing bathing suits.
Oh, okay.
Probably
Well,
at a
that's good
beach or at a
deduction.
beach?
Well, I can't see a beach in the picture. We're in bathing suits. It could be at a beach.
Could be.
Right. Do you recognize the bathing suit that you're wearing in the photograph?
No.
You literally don't even recognize your own outfit?
No.
So that doesn't help define where you were and when that photograph was taken?
No, sir.
Do any of these photographs
It's
remind
ridiculous.
you that you've been to Caitlin's
Why is
house
she
at
being
some
so
point in
deceptive?
your friendship with her?
No.
Has Caitlin ever been to your house?
Not that.
You see, it's off the scale. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with being close friends if you're telling the truth. There's no need to lie. But both of them have got it into their head that they can't know each other. It's quite incredible. Let's catch up with some of the actual analysis itself so that we don't leave it all to the end. So, do you remember the okay, yes? Watch how it works. She says, so you would agree that from that time till yesterday, your story has evolved, it's changed. She buys cognitive time, doesn't she? She says, would I agree with that? I don't know I agree with that. So we notice the sensitivity markers here, and we also notice the buying cognitive time with questioning the question. Would I agree with that? You think the story that you told Trooper Proctor is exactly the same. Here we have the beginnings of a surrender. I understand what you're saying, so I understand what you're saying. So has your story evolved? Okay, yes. So this is a good example of a deception pattern that ends up as a surrender. And we saw the weakness come into the statement as the journey happened to surrender. So 3 attempts to avoid, then surrender. The first attempt, I don't know that I agree with that, hedging and non-committal. The second attempt, I understand what you're saying. It's a deflection, it's a gaslighting technique, it's acknowledgement without admission. This is often where the gaslighter ends their journey to admission. But then, of course, most gaslighters aren't on the witness stand with Jackson, are they? So then the third attempt, she repeats the deflection, stalling, didn't work. And then finally, because Jackson's not letting go, she relinquishes and the surrender occurs and she says, okay, yes. We have capitulation from the witness. And this is a pattern of someone who knows the accusation is true and cannot sustain the denial. And she struggles to sustain any denial where she's being deceptive, even to the degree where Auntie Bev recognizes that she was almost crumbling at that point, and she had to scrabble across her own benchwork, grab the photograph out of the poor witness's hands, and jabber at her, break her state, and then eventually scramble all the way back to her Dalek's chair, where she started swinging. I'm amazed her hands weren't going, because normally she starts smashing her microphone like a monkey when she gets agitated. But there we are. That's Auntie Bev for you. So the 4 impossibilities. The testimony that grew. The claim. Karen Reed said, I hit him multiple times at the scene on January the 29th, 2022. We hear Karen then turned to her friend and stated, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. And this is what Jen McCabe also says she heard. So we have a change and an evolving narrative where more memory comes back. Generally speaking, human memory does not work this way. Important events create strong initial memories that fade and lose detail over time. They don't add new dramatic details with the officer saying, you what? 2 years later. That's a whole new conversation. That's a whole new narrative. Add new actions. The officer signaling for a sergeant wasn't in the original, etc. And the change of direction in the key statement. Turn to her friend. So no documentation either, but she gives reasonable excuses as to why she doesn't or didn't give any documentation. And then we have the friend who isn't a friend. The claim, Caitlin Albert is merely an acquaintance, not a close friend. I would say that we have mutual friends. And then this whole pantomime of can't remembering which beach or where they were. Everybody else was a friend, all but the one acquaintance, she would have us believe. It's not believable, and so therefore we see it as a deception, and deliberate, between the two of them, because they both came up with this pantomime. High school together, day trips to the beaches. They know each other. And then, of course, denying that she knows anyone in the family as well. Let's not forget that. So let's carry on. I think we've caught up. Let's carry on with what she has to say.
Not to my recollection.
When was the last time you talked to Caitlin?
I don't remember exactly. It's probably been a few years.
When was the last time you went to an event, socializing event with Caitlin?
Again, I don't remember exactly.
Did you talk to Caitlin at any point at or around, on or around January 29th, 2022?
No.
When was the last time you had talked to Caitlin before January 29th, 2022?
I don't know.
Would it have been a day before, a week before, a month before?
No, I don't talk to her. Like I said, we're not like close friends, so it's like pretty infrequent that we would interact. So I don't know when the last time before that.
What about texting or Snapchatting or communicating in that way?
I don't remember.
Would it have been a week before the 29th?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, or you know so?
I don't think so.
What about after the 29th, after you responded to 34 Fairview? You ever have any communication with her?
Not that I can recall.
So is that something that you think you might remember if you responded to a house of her father where there's a police officer dead or dying on the yard, on the lawn, 30 feet from the front door? You might have had a conversation with Caitlin?
I've never had a conversation with Caitlin about that call or this case.
Did you ever contact any of your other friends about the fact that you responded to Caitlin's parents' house?
No.
Were you ever asked about this relationship that you had with Caitlin Albert, this friendship that you had with Caitlin Albert at or near the time of the 29th of January?
No.
Did you ever disclose to anybody that you had a relationship with Caitlin Albert at or around the time of this event?
No.
When you went to 34 Fairview, you knew that that was the Albert family home, correct?
No.
When did you learn that it was the Albert? You now know that.
I know that now.
When did you find out?
I don't know. I don't recall. It was some point after. But I don't know when.
Would it have been the next day?
No.
You and firefighter Flamati and firefighter Nuttall were all discussing this case pretty intently after this event, correct?
No.
It's not that often in the little town of Canton that a police officer is found dead or dying on another police officer's lawn. Wouldn't you agree with that?
We responded to a medical call, so the conversation after the fact was at the hospital, debriefing the call, going over what happened, what we use for equipment, what we need, and just like that was the extent of the conversation.
Would you agree that this case, given its notoriety, is discussed at the fire station almost daily?
I don't know when I'm not there, but it does get brought up.
And obviously the fact that the house belonged at the time to the Albert family as part of that discussion?
So are you catching it all? Are you following along and catching most of the deception markers? Do catch as many as you can. If you've got a notebook, even better, and then go back over the VEROSCOPE videos and the principles of deception, and really start to acquire the skill of catching this at conversational speed. That's where it's going to be the most useful to you, so that in front of somebody else, whether it's a supplier, or anyone, the butcher, the candlestick maker, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to tell if they're being ever so slightly deceptive to you, which people often are, and then why. And quite often it's for an endearing reason. The little white lies that people tell. Okay, let's carry on.
I don't know. Like I said, it gets brought up, but I just avoid it. I don't engage in the conversations.
It was certainly enough of a subject matter that you learned, according to you, after the 29th. That house belonged to Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, parents of your friend Caitlin Albert, right?
Well, at that point, it was on the news consistently, so I don't know where that information was introduced, but
it was pretty early on after the 29th.
I don't recall when it was known that was the case.
I mean, you didn't learn that was the Albert family home last week.
No.
You've known it for going on 2.5 years.
I don't know exactly when I learned that was the house.
I realize you don't know exactly, Miss McLaughlin. I'm not asking you the day you learned. I'm asking you've known this basically through the lifespan of this case.
At some point after I learned it.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out about how long after. A week after? A month after?
I'm not sure.
But it was more toward January 29th than it was yesterday, correct?
Correct.
One other, just a couple of brief questions. Do you know any of Caitlin's siblings?
No.
You don't know Brian Albert Jr.?
Karen knows she's lying
any
to
of
put her away for life.
That might be a little closer in age to you, like Colin Albert?
No.
Have you ever met any of them?
Not that I recall.
Not that you recall, or no?
I don't remember meeting any of them.
Your Honor, that's all I have right now.
All right, Mr. Lally, any questions?
Okay, so there we are. Let's carry on with the analysis. Let's also remember what the risks were there. Karen being sentenced to life in prison for a crime that she did not commit. And then the question is Brian Albert's conspiracy theory, does it include EMTs and emergencies personnel like he claims would be necessary? So the extended family denial. Do you know any of the Caitlin siblings? No. Do you know Brian Albert? No. Do you know any of the extended family like Colin Albert? No. You ever met any of them? Not that I recall. I don't remember meeting any of them. Do you see how she's able to say no until she has to repeat the deception, and then she's not confident to do so, either because she genuinely can't remember and thinks it's quite likely given the social circles. So she gives herself a hedge. Not that I recall. I don't remember meeting any of them. But she's known Caitlin for 10 years, grew up with her. Same school, same social circle of friends, same town, same events, posed in photos, mutual friends. And to have never met any of the family, even at some sort of school event, it strains credibility, really, doesn't it? Did you ever disclose to anybody that you had a relationship with Caitlin Albert at or around the time of the event? No. Then we have the non-defense. Are you aware that the female standing to your left reported that exact same statement as, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? Did I hit him? No, I'm not aware of that. There's no defense of her own memory. It's very passive, very weak, very surrendering to the truth. There was no, that's not what she said. I heard it clearly. She said I hit him, etc. There was no, I heard what I heard, and I heard it clearly, and I know what I know, and I'm telling the truth. There was none of that. There was capitulation and surrender and passive response, having already admitted that her story is evolving. So, in my view, in my opinion, she is being deceptive. And the reason why I think she is being so deceptive is to give us the impression that she doesn't really know Caitlin Albert that well, and that she's not really a friend, so that we will not deduce that it might be likely that with influence from those that wish her memory to go along with the narrative, I think there's a consciousness of guilt there, where maybe she can't quite remember exactly what was said, and really isn't as clear as saying I hit him, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. That's my opinion. And we have selective amnesia, and it's completely unbelievable. Some things she can recall absolutely clear as day. Other things like her bikini, the beach, her friends, or when or where, absolutely no memory. And it's ridiculous just to stick to the silly little story that the two of them have concocted that say we don't know each other. Shh. Just say we're acquaintances. Or they'll think we've concocted the story and that you didn't really hear, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. So, I think that brings us to the end of today's Veroscope. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. If you haven't yet joined as a member, but you want to learn statement analysis and forensic linguistic intelligence, please do too. We're going to be launching the next chapter very shortly, so there's still time to catch up. And final assessment, highly improbable that the testimony represents an accurate account of what Karen Reed said on January the 29th, 2022. Okay, so look forward to chat to you in the comments. If you spot any more of the deceptive markers, please put them in, and we'll move on to the next person, the next witness to be analysed. I think we might continue on with Jen. I think we've done we've done the beginning part of her examination and cross. We've done her 911 call, so we might continue on with Jen. And anyway, look forward to chat to you in the comments on this one. Okay, enjoy the rest of the day.